started streaming, and I think we are live.
Fucking
I think.
I hope so.
gay ass. And we're live.
Hi guys, Michael here.
Look, to be fair, have you seen the
Guys.
state of this YouTube thing and the way it starts the streams? It's a freaking mess. It would be so much easier to do it a different way. It really, if I just set it up on OBS so that when I hit start streaming on OBS, it would kick in and just run. That would be so much easier. But instead, it's got this weird started on OBS, then get the preview running, and then once the preview's running, then you can start it, and sometimes the preview crashes for some reason, and so that's why this pretty much always happens. Anyway, enough of me whining about I'm a boomer and therefore I can't run technology and YouTube is beyond me, because yeah, it is a bit, but that's because
guys,
YouTube is bad.
I cannot believe we have started streaming. Smash like if you think Trig's a boomer.
Yes, smash like, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the just everything, you know, just
Don't forget to share on Twitter and
Yeah.
Facebook.
Show your family and friends these videos.
in fact, even go into Task Manager and increase the processing priority of YouTube. It's that important.
That long lost uncle who touched you a long time ago, show him this as well.
Yeah,
No.
just send it to everyone.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. No one will hate you for it. They'll thank you for it eventually. Sure.
Right. Anyway, I hear this live stream is a special of sorts.
Sort of a special. It's more that what is happening at the moment is a bit special. Sort of. Well, there's a few things that are a bit special going off in the world.
Yeah,
but
there's
we cover
a few
that.
people who are a bit special.
We cover
who are
that
involved.
fairly regularly about how special the world is at the present moment. But no, it's a particularly special day because this is like 2 years ago, but in miniature. We happen to have American politics going mental again for well, they have some sort of midterm thing, which is where they get to remind everybody that they are the center of the world and their politics is more important than essentially. No, as I understand it, the House is currently owned by the Republicans, and so is the Senate, and the Democrats are hoping to do what, as I understand it, 90% of the time, a sitting president, be him Republican or Democrat, the House shifts away from the party that the president is, so that we saw it under Obama. Suddenly the House went Republican, and Obama had to do everything with what's
Executive
the word?
orders.
Executive orders. Thank you very much. Yeah, so it's not uncommon for this to happen, and I can imagine the Democrats are somewhat hoping this will happen this time. Only I have a sneaking suspicion it's not going to be the case this time around.
I'm unsure. I think it's going to be a very split house, as far as I can tell. There's a lot of Trumpy, the Donald fucking types who are prepared to actually go out and vote this time around. And I think the quote blue wave isn't happening. I do think there's a lot of Democrat voters that definitely want the House, so I think a lot more will go out and vote this time around. I don't think a lot of people like Hillary. So
nobody likes Hillary.
I think there's a problem more than Hillary in the Democratic Party. Since they lost it, well, Hillary didn't really stand for anything, but since they lost it, they still don't have anything that they stand for.
No.
Well, precisely. They've got a sum total of nothing in particular, don't they? It's it's who's standing? Who's the leader of the Democrat Party at the present moment? You've got a bunch of nobody in particulars, some cheese balls in suits, and then there's
communists.
And there's Alessandro Ocasio-Cortez bird with the crazy eyes and teeth.
My favourite quote from her is that she wants mandatory jobs.
Yeah. She thinks she can pay everyone $12 an hour.
Yeah, she can, as long as she prints money.
You know what's quite
Those
sad
dollars aren't going to be worth very much if she
What's
does
quite
that.
sad about her is that she was the campaign manager for Bernie Sanders. Now, Bernie was a cuck, let's put it that way. He clapped himself out of presidents.
That's a word for it. Yes, he.
But the way first things first, he's not a socialist. He's never been a full-on socialist. He's a democratic socialist.
Oh yeah, there's a big difference there.
There is. You know what I mean by that.
Oh,
He's a democratic socialist.
yeah,
but the
he's...
socialist he has attracted to the Democratic Party has essentially eaten his own movement from the inside out.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you.
So all of those who define themselves as democratic socialists are now pushed more to the authoritarian socialist scale, and they've basically fucked him off. So he has no hope of even getting to the primaries.
Yeah, it's been a fiasco ever since I think it was 2015, where there was Black Lives Matter pushed him off his own stage. And demanded their voice to speak. It was a case of, well, he's never going to be president because any protester's just going to push him off his own stage. He's going to be useless as president.
George Bush or fucking Hulk Hogan, like the fuck's
sake. So he was, he was just not an imposing character. And I think you're quite right. I think he's brought a lot of actual socialists into the Democratic Party and turned it into a bunch of communists, which is, as any good child of the 80s know, are evil. And must be stopped at all costs, and we will eventually have to call on Arnie and Sylvester Stallone to come along and shoot them all if they don't sort it out, because that is, they're our core, heroes against communism.
This is kind of the one thing I like about Trump at the moment is
basically an 80s action hero fighting communism.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh please, that's like the Ben Garrison fucking interpretation of Trump. What I quite like about him is during the 2016 election, he basically just went all out on a personal attack. So I understand why he did. I didn't like the lack of civility about it, but he did. Nowadays, he seems to be kind of just letting the Democratic Party speak for itself. And just pointing out saying, these guys are absolutely fucking mental.
Yeah.
Well, I mean... To be fair, they are.
They are.
They are just a little bit mental. I don't think they're denying it either at this point.
Like the recent democratic movements, like the socialites taking hold within the Democratic Party, the whole abolish ICE shit that happened, which is essentially they want to abolish all borders.
Oh yeah.
Just absolutely mentally.
Hashtag abolish frozen water right now.
Yep.
Get it on trending.
Yeah, so you're right. He's definitely throwing a bit of a wrinkle in the plan. Donald Trump has thrown a wrinkle in everyone's plans because he's so fucking hilarious. I don't know. I just can't get over how just generally kind of he's an internet troll come to life in the real world, and how many presidents of the United States during the run for his presidency ended up with memes like that beauty that's on the screen, the whole God Emperor with minigun and eagle with the American flag flying. It's the imagery that came from his run was so powerful, so impressive what was going off there. And he's captured the imagination of the trolls of the world, and now is our time. It's not gamers rise up, it's trolls. It is literally time to come out from under the bridges.
It's the time of the shit poster.
Yes, we've had the Industrial Revolution.
Shit poster revolution.
This is, yeah. But
I quite like that image you've got up there, Trig, of Trump wielding a minigun with an eagle on his perch. That's very nice.
This is what I'm saying. He's president of the United States. Sure, afterwards paint pictures of how glorious they were, this, that, and the other. But this was on his run-in. Yeah, this was that he created this sort of stuff, and he wasn't doing it. It's quite. Pollitt's
one
in the chat saying the idea of taking things or not taking things seriously as a social movement is not new. You're right, but it's rare for it to be this successful and this much fun
he
in the
really did
process.
embrace the meme.
So anyway, and you know what? So far, here's the thing. As far as anyone can tell, the stock market's good, the economy's good. People are employed. More people are employed at the moment than ever before in America. Unemployment's rock bottom. There's nobody in their right mind is going to go out and go, oh, my friends have just got jobs and my investments are going up and everything's really great. But that Donald Trump guy, I know he's done all these wonderful things for everybody, but he was rude about a woman once, so I'm going to vote against him because I'm mad or what? That just it doesn't make sense even for people that don't like him. There is clearly nothing else on the table other than this as an option. And why would you want to stop what he's doing? What he's doing, I mean, regardless of what he's saying, forget what he's saying and the noise he makes on Twitter, because, but look at what he's doing. You want more of that? Do you want more jobs? Yes. Do you want more investment in stock market booms and more trade and more sort of trade and jobs for America in particular? Well, of course the Americans are going to want that. I can't see anything other than a red tidal wave happen, personally. But
the only way currently you could vote against Donald Trump is if you were loyal to the Democratic Party, or if you were someone who's more of a social conservative who doesn't like the fact that neocons will have power in the Republican Party, House and the Senate, as well as the head of state.
So you're going to vote against the guy that's just got all of your black unemployed friends new jobs. They're now actually being able to feed their families and it's looking good for them. You're going to vote against that guy, eh? Are they going to do that? Because if they're going to do that, then there's no hope.
That's what I'm trying to say. You could only vote against them currently on moral grounds if
Yeah.
you don't like.
So it's basically what you're saying is vote against Trump if Orange Man bad.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because that's it. That's the only rationale they have. If their pussy hat is firmly stapled in place, nailed possibly, straight through the. If they get the nail right on just through the forehead, so that it just knocks out the frontal lobe, you never notice the difference with the feminist. Yeah, they do seem to have a bit of a lobotomy sometimes. Yeah, so that's my little take on it. So what we're going to do essentially later on tonight is as the results start coming in, because we're trying to find a few live streams to look at. And we've got a couple of live streams out there that are going on. I was going to have a look at Fox, but they're not starting until the results come in about an hour's time or so. So we'll switch over to there after we've done a bit of a rundown of some various cancerous things we've found in the news. And
we've got a couple hours.
Yeah, we've got time, and as I said, there are other people doing live streams, so we might sort of listen in on a few of those and see what people are. We just generally try to keep abreast of the situation because we all like breasts.
Namely, Sargon of Akkad. Please Google. please put us because we said the name. You gotta tag us in. Please Google. Please be kind.
Hold on.
Look,
oh my
guys,
god!
hit the like button.
Would you like to know who JF, the scientist JF is?
JF Gay Europe.
Yeah, Gay Europe.
Gay Europe. That's about right, actually. Gay Europe is about right for JF.
Yeah. Ramsey Paul, David Duke, Richard Spencer, Mark Collins.
What, all in one fucking conversation?
All in one conversation.
Jesus.
Fuck that.
Gas that conversation. Christ. Yeah, you know what? That wouldn't be a loss to the world if that lot had a nasty, sort of computer-generated virus that gave them an epileptic seizure that they all died from. What a loss to the world that would be. Frenchman and a bunch of fascists and a racist. Whoop. Gone.
Christ. Anyway,
Oh,
shall
sorry,
shall we move
I
into
shouldn't
our-
be advocating
You
for.
should not wish death upon your
Yeah,
political
no,
opponents,
we
Mr.
are.
Trigger Hippie.
We do not
Um,
condone hate. We do not intend hate. Please Google.
No, no,
Why are you
absolutely.
doing that to me,
Everything
man?
I said on here is kind of
It's just mean.
satire and memes, etc. We are of course wishing everyone a happy and long life,
Even David Duke.
even David Duke. What about Richard Spencer? I mean, God,
I
that
don't know,
guy's
he touches my
tedious.
heart because he's a bit of a shitpost.
I hear that. I hear what you're saying, but the guy thinks a trilby's a fedora. For God's sakes.
Can't respect a man like that.
I
Can't.
I just
don't know
can't.
which
I'm
I
sorry.
respect less to know which
Fedoras are
one.
cool again.
Look,
It's not even a fucking fedora. You
Yeah.
can't even. Christ.
I don't
What
know which is
British-
less cool, knowing what hat is what, or actually
British-
wearing a hat you don't know what it is in the first place.
Okay. First of all, a gentleman's hats. A gentleman should be aware of the range of hats that are available to a gentleman, such as a bowler, a top hat, a fedora, a trilby, etc. These things have their time and place and sort of events where they are correctly worn. And people just willy-nilly going around wearing any old hat at any old place, and especially indoors, just unseemly, quite frankly.
Christ, you're such a fucking snob.
Oh, I
Jesus
think a bit of
Christ.
sick came up in my mouth.
Yeah,
Good.
gas.
Good. Gag,
Gas
you
now.
bitches.
Shall we actually move on to a story? God damn it. We've got so much to cover. No, we don't. We've got fuck all. But
Sorry, we're
it's
just
funny.
verbally. This is why we're just having shitpost fucking diarrhea of the mouth.
I'm not gonna.
We do have
I'm
some
not gonna
stuff.
pretend I have a sense of fashion. So
Oh, I
let's-
have a superb sense of fashion.
No, you don't. Fuck off.
Yes, I fuck.
Sure you do. Yeah, prove it, bitch. I've got a fucking super dry jumper on right now. How trendy am I? 3 years ago.
Right, so
Right. What?
informing people
Right,
in the
that's-
chat that yes, I do own a fedora. I know what a fedora and yes, wonders
I
of
swear to
it's.
God, please don't put it on. Please.
Look, don't say stuff like that, or I will.
Don't challenge me, for fuck's sake. What are you
Don't
doing?
tell me what I can and can't do. Or I will blatantly do it at you.
It's the first page in the Libertarian Manifesto. It's all fedoras all around, guys.
Fucking libtard. Libertarian tard. Right.
The only hats people wear these days are peak caps and beanies. And much as Tim Pool carries off a very dashing beanie, it's not exactly, you don't go to a people should wear hats more. So hats were cool. They seem to die somewhere in the 50s, and I'm not sure why. And yeah, bring back the hat. Hats are good.
No. Next story.
Oh,
Oh,
fucking god.
TM.
It's not trademarked, alright? I can use it if I like. Or I hope
Fair
it's not
enough.
trademarked.
Yeah, no,
Google,
I
please.
don't think you can. I don't think you can trademark a clap. What are we feeling like? Are we feeling like should we dive straight into proper cancer or something? Oh God, it's only proper cancer
I
we've
think-
got.
It's a mild cancel.
We're only a day past
like an
firework night.
appetizer.
Okay,
so
so
I
shall we
think-
start off with some Red Dead Redemption news?
Okay, alright, yeah, we can start with that.
Because
Sure.
that was I saw that earlier and I thought, you know what, that's fun. That's funny because boy has a Red Dead Redemption video gone a tad on the viral side.
Yeah,
so-
just a tad, just a few million views. No, nothing too major.
Shall we take a quick look at it?
Shout.
Of course, whenever you're ready, Trig.
Now I've got it. Oh, let's fast forward a tad because it's a good 45 seconds or so before main character here, as you can see, runs into
A
well,
suffragette.
a suffragette,
Yes.
and it would appear the suffragette has been written to be monumentally tedious, I think is the best way of describing the person. This particular NPC. This is not a human. This is literally a collection of pixels dressed up to look like a particularly irritating suffragette. And
Yes.
yeah, Red Dead Redemption being the free world game it is, gives you the ability to push her over and punch her. And then chase her down the street. And in fact, I have seen one video where they pushed her over, punched her, beat her up, tied her up with a whip, dragged her out of town behind a horse, and then fed her to an alligator, I believe. So, yes, it seems that there is quite a lot you can do in terms of unpleasantness to NPCs, which I don't know. I haven't played the original, but I believe you could do that. That was pretty much free to do to any NPC, and what they've done here is they've applied equality to this particular NPC, and apparently the people that usually like equality want special treatment for that particular sprite.
It's almost like the end goal isn't equality.
It's almost like people seem to think that's a real person for a start, not a computer game character. Because if doing that small amount of nastiness to that NPC is an issue, good God, people would have an issue with some of the things that I've seen. Of course, I wouldn't do these sorts of things, but in games such as Postal, where, wow,
I was just about to say Postal.
that is somewhat notorious for being quite massively disgraceful.
Imagine if you could kill this feminist and then urinate on her corpse.
Yes, and then
That's
set fire to her,
Postal.
take her head, and then throw it to a dog, who will then play fetch with said burning feminist heads. Yeah, that's what you could do in Postal. This is just a bit of tying up and dragging behind
This
a
is
horse.
almost
This is-
tame.
And
is
feeding
tame.
them to alligators.
And
It's
feeding-
very tame. Absolutely tame. Nothing wrong with it
You could
whatsoever.
beat up hookers in they try this crap every single time. Oh, misogyny. Someone's being nasty to a woman. No, someone's being nasty to an NPC in a computer game. And what they are doing is allowing equal treatment rather than
Don't you
special
understand
treatment.
that they're emoting with the NPC?
Bear in mind, most of the people you kill in this game during the missions and when you're going to hunt down criminals are men. So
Yes.
this bystander NPC that just fucking annoys the shit out of you every time you go to the shop. I think it's perfectly equal that you should just tie her up, feed her to an alligator, put her on a train track, leave her to her wit's end.
And can you do this to any bystander, or is it just a
Yes,
specific?
yeah, you can do
then-
it to literally any other bystander,
Then I
except
don't see.
children.
You know what? I can understand why, but even frankly, you should be able to do the same because they're still NPCs. It's not like they're actual people.
No,
It is
No,
a
they aren't
computer
actual
game. In the
people.
moment you start anthropomorphizing these things and going, oh, actually, I relate with that NPC over there. That bunch of flashing lights that makes bleepy noises on my screen. I've started to. The moment you start identifying properly, yeah, you need help. Yeah, you don't need to start. Oh no, they're being mean to these bits of lights that make sound on my screen. Fucking get a life! It's a piece of computer game.
Yep. Yeah, no, I've had this problem with people who talk about representation for a while. It's like the moment you start feeling representation to, for example, a celebrity,
Huh.
you have no idea what a celebrity's life is like
Yes.
unless you are one, and you cannot relate to that person on any level. But they're black and I'm black, so I feel like no. No,
the only
that's not
difference
how it
between
fucking
us is they
works.
earn 100 times more than me. It's
Yes,
wonderful.
and get their dick sucked 3 times from Sunday every night by 3 different people. It's this
While
is,
snorting coke off a hooker's tits.
yeah, it's not something that I can relate to. I haven't had those experiences yet, although I will fucking have them someday. Here's hoping.
Oh,
Fingers crossed.
Sounds
3
like some
blowjobs.
bad memories there, Trig.
Oh, I
it sounds like some good memories waiting to be forged.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, point is if you have to have a certain attachment to characters because they look or feel like you, then you're a bit of a retard. Please Google. But yeah,
As our resident identity politics tick box, I've never fucking understood the need for representation in video games.
It's
Representation in
bonkers,
anything,
especially
really.
when you've got aliens in that video game. You're like, we don't have enough yellow people or brown people
It's
or
the
green
same as that
people, or we've got
fucking-
fucking purple people. We've got people from that guy over there's got 8 arms. Who's he representing?
Yeah. I remember I had a gay friend. He was like, "Oh, I love all kind of representation, but I want to see more bad representation." So I showed him the video of the informative video about Brian has a disease, but it's not one you can see straight away. That's because Brian is a homosexual. He really enjoyed that representation. I can tell
that's some representation he got there.
This is the one thing I've never understood: is that people put representation in games have clearly never met a gay man in their life because they're terrible. They're all awful.
human beings, then no one tells them if they do meet another gay person, they never know that they're gay because they're completely unattracted to them. Pretty much.
Within the first 10 years, of course.
So we are waiting for the live coverage. Was that
Kind
CNN?
of. I'm just. I just found the clip where, yeah. Let's see the full clip actually, because it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty spicy. Yeah, there's the lasso round the. Yep, this is it. Come on. We'll have a watch of that.
Fucking visa to alligators. Just fucking throws her on the ground.
I tell you what, I have to admit, I now am considering a PlayStation for myself for Christmas. So whoever got upset about that, well done. You may well have definitely. In fact, I'm fairly certain that's increased sales because as long as they don't patch that out of the game, this is just a sale for me, quite frankly. Right. Yes. And right. So that was that. There's been a few other bits and bobs in the old news as of late. Whilst we're still filling in a bit of time because it's going to be about 10:30 before the basically we're going to see
Kentucky polls close.
we're going the polls will be closed at that point, and then we'll start seeing exit polls coming in and various other bits and bobs, and we can actually start talking about that at that point. Oops.
Right. So, what news story do you want next? Do you want a good news or a bad news?
I wish I had good news. I really do. I really do.
Oh dear.
Because Sadiq Khan has recently come out and made a statement. You know what? I think Sadiq Khan. I think we need to almost congratulate him. He's done very well this year. This year, he has managed, and under his leadership of London, London has had more murders this year than last year and the year before it combined. I believe is the statistic that I saw earlier. So
Let's all give him. Let's all give him a hand.
I think that's kind of some sort of record. Yes, Sadiq's Stabathon seems to have.
I didn't know that. That is genuinely impressive.
Well, it
He's-
is in kind
It's
of
awful, but it's genuinely impressive that he's
a
managed to get the murder rate up.
yeah, it's horrific, isn't it? It is absolutely horrific that this has happened. And apparently primary school children have started to carry knives in them. And it will take many years to stamp this out as change and gangs culture, as gang changes culture. It's going to right. Okay, it's taken 2 years of him being in charge and turned the whole town into a complete stab fest. And he reckons it's going to take up to 10 years to reverse this. Tell you what. I'm not going to run, but if you got someone like Rudy Giuliani, who had a certain mayorship of New York, and before he was mayor of New York was so violent it's untrue. There was gunfire, gunshots, there were shootings every day. He came in within a couple of years. New York was reversed. It's become now safer than London, apparently. And he did that by being a bit of a hard bastard, quite frankly. He instigated stop and search. He had the police literally stopping and searching on suspicion. 2 or 3 lads walking together, stop and search them. If they look iffy, stop and search them. He de-armed New York, and he tooled up the police. And as a result, New York is now safe. A lot after he stopped being mayor and various other things, there was an awful lot of claims, and they've walked back a lot of his policies because an awful lot of black people were being targeted by these moves. But you can't deny the numbers. Sadiq, if you don't know how to reverse this in 1 year flat, you need to resign and put somebody else in so that someone that can get the job done can get the job done, because literally lives depend on you, Sadiq, resigning now. You are killing children under your leadership. And every day you are in office, and every day one more dies, it is on your soul. Sorry, I was talking to Sadiq there. I kind of got a little carried away, but fuck this guy. Seriously. Oh, it's not my fault. I'm doing everything I can, this, that, and the other. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
So, Sadiq, if you are watching.
Yeah, resign.
Sure
give me a call, I'll take your job. I'll turn it round. London will be clean. It will be fresh smelling. And it will have zero crime. Give me the job. You won't like the year that it will take. Will not like that year that it will take to clean it up. But after that, it will be an absolutely beautiful city.
I do think that Sadiq Khan is almost solely responsible for the crimes being committed in London currently.
Oh, I am a
Macabre.
Chinese man.
Hey, Copo, how's it going, dude?
We were just having
hello,
a very
sitting in my
aggressive
opposite.
moment.
Were you here for my slightly vitriolic rant I just got into there?
Vitriolic rant about what?
Sadiq Khan, basically.
Sadiq Khan?
Yeah.
There is more important things to worry about in life. Why are
No.
you?
I was
I
just
don't
saying he should
understand.
resign, because every time a child is stabbed and dies and mayorship,
I think it was
somebody else could be doing his job better.
119.
Yeah.
119 children have been stabbed.
Yeah.
In his power
That's
within the year. 250, nationwide. But yes, there are certainly a lot of problems with Sadiq Khan, and I do think he needs to be displaced from his current power.
It's another 2 years of
And
election, isn't it?
and the fact that he is now ruling out the fact that he can possibly deal with it, the fact that he is saying that it could take a generation,
Yeah.
10 years.
To make significant progress can take 10 years, a generation.
Big
No,
dicks in
it
your
doesn't. It
face.
takes a proper police force. And
Oh.
you go, right, okay, you do not touch, these crimes, you don't worry about this. You deal with these crimes, and these crimes. You go after them, you nail them to the wall for it. You go after them
Yeah.
hard. You take all of the violent criminals off the street immediately. You go after all the hardcore drug pushers, you take them off the street immediately. You go after the pimps, the
You
nasty
reduce-
characters that the police all know anyway, and you take them off the streets. And suddenly, the birds start chirping louder, and people start walking around the streets and smiling, and kids start playing, like actually playing, not fleeing for their lives and fighting with knives.
You don't start funding a fucking police force to enforce Twitter.
Well,
Jesus
like I said,
Christ.
yeah,
Out of your own funds, your own fucking budget, you cunt.
Each police force in the UK has diversity budget.
Yes, but Sadiq personally did it. I think it was specifically for Muslim hate speech on Twitter.
Yep.
Out of his own funding as mayor.
There we go. 250th knife crime. Death of 2018 after boy 16 is fatally stabbed. Is now higher than 2015 and 2016 together, with 2 months
Man
of the year
attempted to
left.
protect his own in-group.
And it's just going to spiral out of control. Next year is going to be a bloodbath. And it will continue while this man is in power.
Yeah. And meanwhile,
Oh,
now this is another case that I think what's happening here is going to be likened a little to Countdown Killers Nazi pug case, and that is the 5 men that have just been arrested over burning an effigy of the Grenfell Tower during bonfire night. Now, for those that don't that may be watching from outside of England, we have on the November the 5th, Guy Fawkes night, where we remember a traitor who tried to blow up the House of Parliament, Guy Fawkes. He failed,
we're a weird nation.
and we celebrate that every year by firing off fireworks and burning an effigy of Guy Fawkes on a fire. It's a bit of a dark and weird and very typically, well, very English celebration
Well,
we do
true.
every year, and everyone likes it because fireworks are fun.
Yeah.
And this
True,
year, these guys, burnt a. Sorry.
Yeah, they burnt Grenfell, but I think we should do this with all traitors to the nation state. I think celebrate their death every year.
You know what?
All hail the British Empire,
I
motherfucker.
kind of with you here. Yeah, that's it. You basically, this is yesterday was death to traitors to the crown day. Oh,
Yes.
and well, the punishment that Guy Fawkes had was he was hung until he was nearly dead.
Hung, drawn, quartered.
Yes, but that sounds easy to say, but hung till he's nearly dead. In fact, we saw it to a degree in what was that Mel Gibson movie, Braveheart.
Braveheart.
Yeah, they actually depicted it quite well, because what they do is after hanging them until they're nearly dead, is they then open their stomach out carefully and remove their guts and lay them in front of the person whilst he's still alive, keep him alive throughout the whole thing. Then they attach a horse to each arm and each leg separate, and here comes the quartering bit. They drive the horses off in 4 different directions and rip him into 4 pieces. So that's what England used to do to traitors, and that's what we were celebrating yesterday. And yes, these 5 edgy little bastards burnt a model of the Grenfell Tower.
instead of a
instead
Guy
of a
Fawkes
Guy
effigy.
Fawkes, and they made a video of it, and I would imagine there was a few drinks involved, and they made some comments, and lo and behold, because they've put it up on the internet, it's gone from being shared around from a bunch of their friends who probably all had a bit of a giggle to someone putting it on Facebook or whatever. It went viral, and as it's gone viral, Theresa May has seen it and has declared it utterly unacceptable and a thought crime essentially. And because it's offensive, it will fall into the same category of perception of offence under the 2003 Digital Communications Act, and therefore they have committed some sort of hate crime in doing so. So these
One
five
thing
chaps.
I believe you do need to point out is that these 5 boys did turn themselves in.
Yes, they did.
Yes,
They have
did
turned
indeed.
themselves in. They've been declared criminals. They had two options at that point. They either turn themselves in, or the cops have to come get them. And then that's it. To be honest, at this point, I really feel for these guys. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to say it's a fair cop. Yes, we did do that. But the simple fact is, okay, whilst it's offensive, and
While it's an awful, disgusting taste,
oh yeah,
it is still.
I
it's
don't know. I thought it was in pretty good taste. I laughed.
That's because you're fucked in it.
it's a terrible. This is it. Wherever
Grenfell's a
these things,
terrible tragedy,
you
but I
can
don't
start.
remember when
I know.
burning effigies was
That's it. I
illegal.
was gonna say it's a pretty dark holiday anyway, and gallows humor, etc., etc., etc. When is it okay to make jokes about a tragedy? Is it the next day? Is it an hour afterwards? Is it a year afterwards? Is it 2 years? When does someone is there? And people have said this before. Is there a meat thermometer? Tricky with Grenfell because they're ashes.
Oh,
But literally, there is. Where is the? When is it okay to make a joke about something? Are AIDS jokes okay? Or it's just everything. There is tragedy everywhere in the world. People make off-taste jokes to help deal with these things. It's how you deal with the horrors that the world continuously throws at you. Is you say occasionally off-color jokes
I will be
about
right.
things.
okay.
And yeah, these poor lads are going to get bluntly a good bollocking for this one.
I think they'll probably just get a state warning. I don't think they'll be sent.
What I do think is interesting is, as far as I know, and if you know differently, please by all means tell me. But as far as I know, nobody has actually been arrested for the fire, for negligence, or for anything that caused the fire. So none of the victims of this fire have had any retribution legally against anybody that actually caused this horror. And at this point, we're going to start. We will have actually, I believe, have arrested people for making jokes about a thing before arresting the perpetrators of this criminal act, which I think will all walk away because they'll all be corporate and they'll all basically sink the how should I put it, the liability for the crime against the name of the company. The people at the top of the directors will basically shed liability for it in the process.
And the company, even if they're made to pay back a huge fine, will just liquidate itself.
And a good point here. Actually, Pollard has made a good point here. Putting too much emphasis on it being a joke, it should be treated as any different if it wasn't. If burning a cardboard box with context should cause criminal punishment. Quite right. At the end of the day, they burnt a cardboard box.
Yep. No,
No,
the crime wasn't burning it. The crime was recording it.
The crime was not even recording it. The crime was putting it onto the internet. That's the problem with digital communications. That act needs to. Speaking of burned, that act needs. It
Yep.
really does.
Yeah. No. The fact that this is a punishable crime speaks volumes to the the pettiness of our judicial system.
I bet you what we've just said within the last 10 minutes, given the wrong person saying it, they could have a whine about it. Someone could have a finger wag at me. I would imagine.
I think the Sadiq Khan part, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's
insane.
insane. My cat's hurtling around the house like mad thing at the moment. Give me a second. Right. Yeah. So that's that. Freedom of speech.
Who needs it?
Who needs it? Me. I need it. I'll tell you that. That's it. It's. I'm an Englishman that was sold the American dream, and I'm seeing the potential of it coming here waning and fading. It bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Who needs freedom? Who needs the internet? Don't you trust Big Brother?
No, I certainly.
Who needs encryption?
Oh, don't start me on encryption. Oh, you know,
They're just
piece
trying
of
to make it so there's every way that they can monitor everything.
yeah.
do.
You
And
know,
if you happen to say that one thing that is deemed to be offensive online, they will get you.
you know, a random fact that I remember hearing about back in 2000, maybe 1999. The guy who created the code for an encryption algorithm. And it's now a company, but it's basically the granddaddy of a lot of commercial encryption programs. Was smuggled out of the US on bits of A4 because it couldn't be put on a disk and transported out of the country rather, for fear of it being claimed as treason. And here's the real kicker: is that encryption algorithm had been sat essentially on a shelf in English hands since the 1960s, and they never got round to commercializing it. They decided it was a military secret, and would keep it as such. And yeah, lo and behold, suddenly all of the computers in the world had better encryption than than intel agencies thought was capable of, and they all got a bit upset. But I think it's a good thing. I think privacy is important, and people that tell you that there's no such thing as privacy in an internet world, they're hideous monsters of the beast.
They're the anti-anonymity crowd.
Well, I mean, it's. I don't want to start going completely Alex Jones on everyone, but they are literally they are, whether they are wittingly or unwittingly doing it, they are working for some very very horrifying forces that are
I thought you were about to call them demons.
kinda. I'm
Goblins.
not a religious type. I don't believe in any particular religion as such. But when people seem to be desperately trying to drive humanity into an unironic Orwellian nightmare that's got a few tinges of Huxley thrown in there because you know what, Soma and free sex sounds like a giggle. But we like the Big Brother state and the thought crime as well. So let's combine the two. Oh my God, anything but that. Anything but 1984 and a Brave New World. That future cannot be allowed to happen. It will be the death of the human race. The death of the soul. And no. Speaking of soulless nonsense, did you see? I'm gonna segue it back towards the action now.
Gosh, us getting back on topic.
I know. It's unheard of, and probably should stop doing this. People something. Here we go. So there was this video put on Twitter yesterday. Not yet. Oh no, on the 4th, in fact. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. We've
Oh,
daughter of Richard Dreyfuss, who was in Jaws and many great movies. She's
and
done
she
a
was also
movie.
a Seinfeld actor. She was quite a good actor as well.
Pollitt's just saying, Brave New World is literally about a man breaking free of that, about how the human soul cannot be boxed up like. Sort of. It wasn't actually. It was Brave New World was I can't remember the guy's name, but he goes out into the wilderness and finds the chap that has only ever read Shakespeare and the Bible, and they bring John Savage, as he's named, back into that world. And it's about him trying to integrate with that world, totally failing to integrate with that world, going off into solitary lighthouse, literally existence and living in a lighthouse, and then killing himself. It's somewhat dark and was like sort of the death of humanity. 1984 is about a man trying to break free of that and getting tortured and horrifyingly, treated horrifyingly by the state in the process. Um, both, neither have a good, happy ending. Neither are a society that I would like to send humanity down into. I'm
I know this is a random point, but I read 1984 when I was quite young,
yes,
and the one thing that stuck from that book is obviously I was a young lad. I didn't understand a lot of the more heavy political issues, but the description of the torture of Winston goes on for about 20 pages,
yes.
and it mortified me as a young boy. I don't know if it's the same. You read it quite young.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's not a good book. It's not a happy book.
no, he didn't. And
Oh,
as Pollitt said, he didn't have a
I think.
name. I know. No, the main character, but was it Bernard? It was Bernard was the guy I was not trying to remember. Bernard, who goes off into the wilderness, finds the guy who doesn't have a name. He hadn't been given one, and yes, he calls him John Savage just so that he can introduce him to his friends when he brings him back. And then they try and take Soma and sex and the whole Brave New World thing. And yeah, it's a gigantic mess. Long time since I've read the book. It's a good book, and yeah, everyone should read it. Oh, hello. Why? What is it with cats and acting like total
Retards?
mentalists on occasion? I just ran into the room, looked at me, stood right back with her eyes wide open as something crazy just behind me, and then flew out of the room. I'm now left feeling like there's something lurking around behind me that isn't there. Anyway.
that means a paranoid trick.
No, I'm not. It's not paranoid. You know what I mean, though. When an animal runs into the room, looks right
Yes.
behind you, freaks out, and then bolts off, and you're like, "What the shit did she just see?" Probably just a thing in the reflection in the mirror or something. Either that or my
Probably.
cat's fucking with me. That'd be the case. Would you like to see some nonsense with regards to this election?
Sure.
Cool. See, it's up there.
Hashtag
Right.
multiply your vote. Are they suggesting? Well, I think they're suggesting.
No, I'm not going to go into that. What I'm amazed at is, let's just look at the speed that Julia here goes from 0 to 100. I mean, this girl can put her foot on the gas and change through gears pretty quickly. Because this is some pretty rapid acceleration.
You are the
All right,
president
let's
of
have a
all
look.
citizens of this country. You must not inflame the hatred of some at the violent expense of others. We've seen Jews subjected to persecution, prejudice, and
Yes, that's right. Talking about Donald Trump and the election, and within 15 seconds of the beginning of the video, literally, page of dead Holocaust victims. That's how quickly
Jesus
she went to
Christ.
Donald Trump is literally the Holocaust. As far as I know, he hasn't killed anything like as many people as Obama per year.
That was literally Hitler in like 12.25 seconds. That was like a world record.
Jesus Christ. Christ.
Let's do that again. Right, so we'll start. So, Donald Trump, first, second. Big words. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, you are the president of all citizens of this country. You must not inflame
So
the
does-
hatred of some at the
Doesn't
violent
Donald Trump
expense
have Jewish
of others.
relatives?
We've seen
Yeah, his
Jews
son's
subject.
Yes, his daughter is married to one.
Like, what?
I mean, he's
What angle are they trying to play here?
12 seconds. 12 seconds to pictures of Holocaust. Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah,
I gotta
Holocaust.
bang on.
Wow. Wow.
That is
mean-
absolutely record time.
I mean, I know everyone that disagrees with me is literally Hitler is kind of a meme now. But, wow.
Oh,
12 seconds. I mean, didn't hear a bleep about Obama with his extrajudicial murders via frigging drone strike every other day. No, we're not going to mention that. That he was fine. Or the fact that he was deporter in chief and had deported more people out of America in his term than any other president. In fact, probably all of the other ones combined. No, not a bleep about that. No. But Donald Trump said he grabbed a woman by the pussy because she'd let him. And now he's Hitler inside of 10 seconds, or inside of 15, every time they speak.
You know what? That's the one thing Donald Trump did. I didn't very much agree with. He apologized for that.
Yeah. Did he?
He did. He said that he regrets comments he shouldn't have made, something around that time.
You know what he regrets is getting caught on tape.
Yeah.
Of course. He's Donald Trump. Whatever. It's 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. Whatever. You know, some women are slutty, is all I'm saying. Some guys are slutty. You know, not all. Hashtag absolutely all that shit. But yeah. So mental woman who was an actress or is an actress and certainly daughter of an actor, and yeah, Trump is Hitler inside of 10 seconds. She goes on for 1 minute and 43 of that nonsense.
My favourite thing, just the amount of shit that's come out of this election aimed at Trump, and some of it is just almost even more hysterical than the 2016 election. Like Bernie Sanders calling him the most racist president of all time.
Despite some previous presidents literally owning slaves. Yes, I'm familiar. The rhetoric is utterly bonkers around the old tangerine. Yeah, I'm just saying, Orange Man, rude, but maybe not so bad. Personally, don't at me. Yeah. I guess. No, I'm not. Sorry, thought crime's a thing these days, isn't it?
You are no longer entitled to your opinions, good sir.
don't you know? Big Brother's watching. Ah, dear.
Anyway,
Well, is you BBC Pigeon?
Oh, I love BBC Pigeon. It's my favorite news source.
I was saying earlier today. I think actually because we are clearly BBC is investing into dialects of English that are unusual outside of the norm of English.
I'd love a
And
BBC Birmingham.
I want to see a BBC Cockney. Cockney is technically an endangered culture. The East End is no longer full of Cockneys. Cockneys have been driven out of the East End, and
Yeah, all the dock workers can't live there.
yeah,
'cause
and
it's
you
cost too
cannot
much.
be a Cockney unless you are born under the Bow Bells or whatever. It's
Yeah,
got
so
to be.
it's the old Kent Road to kind of Birmingham.
yeah, you've got to be from this area, and it's a bit. It's cute, but it's very traditional English, and Cockney has a slang that is, well, Cockney rhyming slang is awesome. Nobody understands what the hell they're saying half the time.
Okay.
Because you start with
I like the preservation of culture, but Cockney rhyming saying god awful.
Cockney.
I'm,
Look, you want to
I'm not against preserving it, but fucking hell,
you
it's
want to say the stairs in Cockney rhyming slang. Well,
has
Cockney rhyming
apples in
slang
the hair.
is stairs, which means apples and pears. Yeah, but advanced Cockney, you only say the first word. So they're apples. Yeah. So the stairs, they're apples. Yeah. Apples and pears, stairs. So
Advanced
apple.
Cockney.
So yeah. So you end up with this whole sort of rhyming slang that you've got to work out the second part of the rhyme before you can work out what the fucking word is. And these guys do it in conversation fluently. Just brilliant. And I think the BBC, frankly, I think the BBC should be doing that more than they should be doing BBC Pigeon, because I'm somewhat, I don't know. Well, this was thrown my way earlier, as a, oh, you have to see this, mainly because I think, well, apparently, yeah, well, we'll see. Me reading. There's no way to read it without doing a bit of an iffy Nigerian accent, has been my understanding. And here we have an article from BBC Pigeon, which I think, from a brief glance over the piece, is about, I believe it's Sainsbury's and a couple of other supermarkets are thinking of stocking, shall we say, female sex toys that might vibrate. In fact, we're just going to say vibrator. Okay.
You said, shall we say, and I thought you were trying to build up to some kind of euphemism, but
Yeah.
no, you just called them female sex.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, they're selling dildos. That, a giant fake schlong, perhaps even a strap-on, whatever.
Okay, we know what dildos are.
I'm sure you do.
Oh,
That was such an easy setup. I can't even give you points for that one.
Fair enough.
I do.
Right, but yeah, they've done it in BBC Pigeon.
Do you want to give it a read, Trig?
I'm gonna try.
Try to do it without doing a Nigerian accent.
It's not possible without the Nigerian accent. It literally doesn't read properly. If you do the accent, it kind of starts to read, and you kind of understand what's being said a bit. So, I've been vibrator. They no make me no they enjoy sex. Leanne Bin, day 21 when she buy her first vibrator. The tin day sleek and soft and silicone them use no na stone color he get with the stone color he get with rose gold button. He no look like penis, ed classy. So she talk. It's like it's almost, oh god, I'm just gonna get annihilated, but it's like Gungan.
You have to enlighten me.
Gungan, did you not know Jar Jar Binks?
No, I've never watched any Star Wars.
Oh my god. Kill yourself, Sydney.
Jesus, you've watched Star Wars.
Just watch the prequels. Don't look at that other trash.
What? Right. Okay. Yeah.
Do you want me to give it?
I'm now speechless because I didn't realize that people hadn't watched Star Wars.
Jesus Christ, Sydney. Be disappointed in yourself. So
Right, she grew up for one village outside Birmingham for England, and she had been to stay single for 2 years. For age 21, Leanne never still reached orgasm before. She entertained one Sunday afternoon to go buy the sex toy. Na de ode di bis bidis. Na de obey di bis.
Venus.
I they determined. I want to go buy the vibrator above my dreams, and to sort out and to sort them out. She been losing her virginity for age 17, and by age 21 she done sleep with a good number of guys, and all of them no PP. No people. She get all of them the people she get been with short relationships with.
The no PP.
No the people as in people.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I like how one of the titles is just disappointed.
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 She go enjoy sex, but the different kind of enjoyment. So she took.
Oh,
I've been there enjoying meeting people, seducing them, or them seducing me. I enjoy it, but I never get the orgasm. As years they pass, Leanne began to worry about why she never get the orgasm. They've disappointed any time I do sex. I disappointed in myself. No BD
oh, that poor
Oda.
girl.
No BD other person. No BD other person. Right. I feel say no shame for me not to get orgasm. I know agree all and I know agree tell anybody sake of say friends. They always talk about them like they get them every time. Poor chick ain't getting any. But she's
I
getting
know.
some, but she's not getting the whole. Finally, she opened up to her best friend. Didn't they be saying this time I never masturbate before? My best friend, see, a good person. She just telling me you never get orgasm sake or say you never masturbate before. Supposed to teach yourself wetting your body like, not all about finding wetting you want and to get in hold of the tin. If you know sabi wetting you want. Oh, if you're wanting what you want. Right. Now so they right. Okay. So do we need more of this cancer, or am I forever doomed to be that guy with the really terrible Nigerian accent?
I think D wants to be moved in.
Oh.
Bedroom
no.
gadgets don't go mainstream, but we done they hooked.
See, it almost carries it if you do the Nigerian accent. You can kind of get the flow of it, but you've got to read it in a flow, so your ears can start to disseminate what you're hearing almost. Okay, so we're going to drag D in here. Maybe D can help us with it. No, he's not African.
well.
or-
Yeah, he's a minority.
But he does speak gibberish, so that might do.
Did
Here
you
comes
say
D.
D doesn't speak gibberish?
No, he does speak gibberish. So
Okay.
and I think
Just
gibberish
the
is
incorrect gibberish.
It's a similar dialect to pidgin. But well, we'll see. D, welcome. How are you, dude?
Hey,
We're just being very rude about you on stream.
yeah, I
I'm
know.
not sorry.
Nah, that's what people do. You assholes. White people, man. What
You
you
were
gonna do?
What?
We were just hoping you'd be able to read this, since
Yeah.
we can't, us white
No,
uncultured.
well, this is just it. You made a good go of it, but didn't be saying that by this time I never masturbate before. What the
What?
fuck?
You're such a natural, D.
He is. He's
It flows.
perfect.
Flow straight through you. It's like mother tongue.
The lack of masturbation flows
I
through
was,
you.
I was missing my spot on it. This is what I was here for, wasn't I?
No, it's
Yeah.
that Saturday when she reached house. Now she
No,
She
see,
opened the box to bring
now
out
so
the
she
new.
opened the box to bring out the
I
new
did
vibrator
28
to
years and
start
never
what
get
with
an
him.
orgasm before. What the fuck?
I feel for this lass personally. You know,
I kind of do as well.
frankly, you know, she should. If she is she a looker? I mean, I could give her a hand,
Clearly
but
not.
but
Um,
Is she a looker?
No one gave her the time of day to
Oh,
order.
Trig, you're below that.
I'm,
We can't respond in case
no.
we've been classed as extreme fucking hating women and stuff. All that misogyny.
Nah, this is just talking about how women are refusing to have sex and instead using vibrators and shit.
Yeah, they've been doing that for time and then lying about it. And then when we catch them, they say it's not mine, it's my friend's.
You can speak for yourself, my man.
I just love this picture I found at the bottom of the article, down the article, of a woman giving a big hug to what can only be said is a gigantic.
Oh. They wonder
Is that why she's never had an orgasm? Because it's like a cavern in there.
Wait,
To
so
talk
there's,
about
like,
orgasm,
Mexican
they
women
like
and
taboo
donkeys.
before.
Hold on. So there's Mexican women and donkeys. Does that mean there's African women and elephants?
What are you on about, dude?
I don't know. It's these.
Why are you?
Why? Why are we talking? No.
That is not a human
No.
being.
No.
Whose penis is that made from?
It's a painting.
Elephant. An elephant cock.
That is not a human penis. That's
It's a
No,
painting
dude. Obviously
of
not.
a vibrator. It's not a cock. It's not.
It's not someone's
cock.
sliced off phallic
Piss
cock.
off! No way. That's like got a Johnny on or something.
Oh my
Can't you see
God.
the sheen on it?
That
Oh
hand
my
is
God.
well manky. Look at that hand. I know it's the right number of fingers and thumbs and everything, but those
Oh.
hands are manky. Yeah. Too much space in between the fingers and just. Bleh.
It looks like he's tried to draw.
Looks like it's not much of an artist.
No.
Yeah.
Eve Lloyd Knight. I feel sorry for that man.
But what I don't get is what's all with all the spiky things around?
What? Spiky? Those are leaves. Palm leaves.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, this guy's a shit artist.
He's not. Yeah, it's just a pop artist.
Yep.
Don't know if I can carry on.
Oh my god. Now we got a
I
wall of
can't.
dildos.
This
and
is-
all-
Medieval pigeon.
This is just gigantic amounts of just drivel.
It's
But
such
and it's
low
drivel
hanging
in
fruit, but I
pigeon
don't even
English,
care.
which, frankly, just. I mean, some of the pictures are nice.
Wait, is that a dildo salesman?
Yes.
Yep.
I think
they're selling-
I'm my ideal job right now.
You seem to know an incredible amount about dicks.
You do
Yeah.
know how to disappoint women, D.
Just hand him a dildo, puts a smile on the face, and they walk off.
Take it from someone who many years ago worked in retail in a store where we sold underwear, and on occasions that poor young version of me had to sell women's underwear to ladies that would come into the shops. It was never a glamorous 17-year-old or 18-year-old, someone my age that wanted to talk about lingerie with me. No, it was always an 80-year-old that wanted double thick, extra thick gussets that can hold everything in properly for us. Because occasionally we have a bit of a weakness, you understand, etc. Yeah?
Did
Dildo
you have
sales
to
will be
tuck
the same.
anything in?
It will be gigantic, butch lesbians with a face like the north end of a southbound pig.
I feel sorry
Gee.
for you, bro.
And then
you
you'll
what you
have to
do.
sit there with that image in your head after you've sold them all about the vibrator and the various sort of modes and abilities it has, and you'll have you wouldn't like that.
What you
Okay.
do is you get a girl to come home with you, and then in the middle of the sex, you sell her something.
Just go,
It's,
hey, this was pretty good and all, but do you need a vibrator for later?
yeah, that was pretty good. But for just £9.99, you can have one of these.
And this one, actually, what we did was at maximum arousal, we just
Okay.
took a cast of my penis and turned
It-
it into your very own vibrator for you to keep with you forever.
In the middle of the sex, we swapped them around. You couldn't tell the difference.
You know what?
Okay, now,
You know what? I might actually have a couple of
hold
those
on,
done.
that's a perfect
would be-
addition to
that-
any male escort.
I could have those done and hand them out as Christmas presents to my exes.
Here,
I thought you were just
have
going
a
to say
fast mode
as
of
Christmas
non-stop.
presents and leave it there. I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
No, it'd have to be exes.
I know, but then she'll just feed it the dog and then video record it and then send it back to you.
Yeah, Pullet's got it down. If you think I'm good, then you should try this.
I like it. Yeah.
You could do it at home. You don't even need to come to my house to do it.
Yes.
The
Yes.
sad working life of a humble dildo salesman.
I'm
It's
right.
hell, man. They're like 90 and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no.
hold on. My role as a sales agent, where I was selling vibrating massage cushions and brushes, that was a pretty interesting role.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hold on. Especially when the women sat on the cushion.
Yes, of course. Haha. Women like vibrating things. Yes, I know. I get it. I get it.
I saw fucking shitloads, nigga.
I'm sure you did. Women did. Everyone deviants. A lot of them. I remember hearing years ago, a couple of years ago, the police on the motorway had found a series. Basically, they were finding they were pulling over women that were driving along
On
rumble
the hard
strips,
shoulder.
along rumble strips on the hard shoulder, because it was getting them a good vibration going through the seat.
They pull them over and they'll cross eyed.
I don't know how true that was. That might have been an Onion article, but I'm until someone proves it otherwise, I'm sticking with it because I like that version of that. Yes. Anyway, prove me wrong.
Yeah, would like to see the video evidence of that.
Oh, you
Really proof?
disappoint me.
Right, thank you for that that pigeon reading. That was that was something
That
else.
was, yeah. Oh,
Look.
how inclusive we are.
Look at all these women.
Yeah.
I fully support sex toys.
I do. I've even been one from time to time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's a little too far.
that's not an image anyone wants.
Trig, will you tell your mum start calling me?
Oh, you
Dude.
got him, D.
Dude,
You fucking got him.
yeah,
This
She's
is
what-
fucking
what?
sick. My playground, I was young, like, oh, I shagged your mum, mate.
she's 70 and single. If you think you can bring her some happiness, dude, go at it.
Go right now, that's what I'm saying.
Go on, then, D. You
Damn.
make an old grown woman happy.
Very old.
I don't know about that.
See, your mum jokes, etc. They, you know, when you sort of
Wait,
hitting the point where your mum is actually quite old. They're usually like, oh, okay, then fine, you know, sure, if you can stomach that, go for it. It sort of spins around on you a bit.
Got me.
And that's so I'm gonna have a quick look on the internet to see
Oh,
if
no.
anyone is actually having any kind of spurginess about the midterms. Because it's about time to start looking at these, I think. And still, Fox's News isn't showing a damned thing.
Nope, nothing. The Guardian has some exit poll. I can give you that if you would like. That is their article on it currently.
Dankeschön.
Google's midterm elections page is sourced by the Associated Press and is giving us absolutely nothing in there. Unless it's, I don't know, stated nothing in.
Majority of voters said country heading in the wrong direction.
Hold on, what? Say that again?
The exit polling from the Guardian report says that the majority of voters say the country is headed in the wrong direction.
Yes. Okay.
Currently, if you look at the live results as updated on the Guardian, it looks like the Republicans have a current lead in the Senate.
They've started off
with
with
exit polls.
Oh,
This
okay.
is-
Because this is the thing: is it's already a red House and a red Senate. The
I'm
big question
not
is,
seeing anything on the House at the moment. I'm
let's,
just seeing the Senate results. Let me have a look
let's,
again elsewhere. This
you know, I think bring the
not seeing anything on the House at the moment. I'm
let's,
just seeing the Senate results. Let me have a look again elsewhere. Supposedly, three quarters ish, near enough, are saying that Donald Trump is a factor in their vote. Apparently,
Of course, Donald
That's
Trump is
not
a factor in
shocking
the vote.
at
Now,
all.
this is the This is the Labour. This is the Guardian.
The Labour.
Pretty much
And
same
they
thing.
are somewhat left-leaning. I've had a fair few people telling me that the Guardian is a particularly trustworthy site. I don't find it massively true.
Their
But
opinions are terrible.
their opinions are
opinion,
terrible. They try to
pieces.
stay relatively factual. But yeah, sometimes their opinions are. Now, this is the Labour. This is the Guardian.
But I'm getting that from CNN.
And they
Actually,
are
the
somewhat-
Donald Trump is a factor statistic. So I'm just trying to find anything that's updating live.
Yeah, because this isn't found. What have we got here? So we've got currently live results. Nothing in showing.
Yep, nothing's been called either. So yeah, we still have a decent 45 minutes ish before they'll start getting called.
I like this Robbie guy. Warning: exit polls are likely to be online dating. Things may not be as they appear and may well be right. He's absolutely right.
I
If
like
there's-
how the only thing the Guardian put was what would he know about it? That's an odd thing to be putting, Guardian.
Yeah.
It's an odd thing to even include that.
simple statement of fact. 2016 broke everybody as far as polls were. Everyone
Yep.
looked at those and went, "Well, you couldn't have been more wrong if you tried." Literally 90% certain Hillary Clinton would win. Lost. Literally 90% certain.
Wasn't it in the New
Brexit-
York Times who reported 98.1% chance
was-
of Clinton victory?
Utter garbage, the lot of them. And that's what he's trying to do, is point that out. He's going, seen this before, polls are broken, and I don't see any massive reform in the way that polls have carry out their business. They've said they've done a few things, but it takes more than two to renovate the structure of a system like that. And yeah, no, I bollocks. I think he's right. I think the well done, Robbie. Frankly,
Orange man good.
majority of voters said country headed in the wrong direction. Exit
So what
polls do
country?
not.
So what way do they want it to go?
I don't know. It's difficult to say, isn't it? In which direction is it going at the present moment? Is there another direction it could be going? Take a left, a right, an up, a down? Does it turn around and start going backwards? What does any of that mean anyway? I mean... More globalism? Less globalism.
Where's Kira?
Well, I
What?
don't know where Iraq is.
Sorry, where's Coat Rack?
Well, we're discussing this country, aren't we? So
Well,
Well, yes, a bit.
I'm just wondering. So who's it out of then? Because obviously I don't really pay much attention.
well, you've got the Republicans and the Democrats. The individual places, the individual states, and their subsequent areas for the House are irrelevant to us, really. But it will be interesting to see who gains a majority, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans. If they gain a majority, they will be able to pass policies a lot easier in their favor.
So is that a bad thing then?
Well,
It is if the
depends on what
Democrats
your
win.
political alignment is.
Yeah,
I'm not particularly aligned with either party, but I would prefer the Republican Party.
I think it's still going to be 50-50. I think it's going to be very close.
Majority of votes considered.
The one mistake I would put down as Donald Trump, one mistake I think he's made in his presidency, is increasing the amount of money for tuition care, childcare for married families, instead of actually attempting to strengthen the married family in America. I'd rather he give tax breaks in a manner of allowing the mother to stay at home and take care of the child, because that's simply the best way it can be.
Oh.
But I understand he hasn't made a compromise with it.
I tend to agree with you.
That's
we
the
have-
one thing where I look at his presidency and I say he's done that wrong. That's just my opinion.
have a terrible situation. It's the world over. When you have healthcare, have people in that healthcare earning basically a minimum, yeah, give or take. Perhaps not quite a minimum wage, perhaps even a little above, but either way, close to minimum wage. Problem is when mothers have to go out to work and they are also earning a minimum wage, they end up with a zero-sum game where they're going out and literally handing over the money that they've earned to the nursery.
And this is why women's suffrage is a mistake.
Yeah, to a degree, there have
But
been issues.
unironically,
So then, I mean, I remember I've worked with girls, and they're unit bits end going. I want to, I need to work and so on. I don't want to stay at home with the kids all day and stay at home. Ask them why, and it's because they feel like they're letting some sort of ideology down sometimes. Other times it's because I've got 3 boys, and if I don't go out to work, I will go insane because they're nightmares, and I'd rather sort of bob them off onto a nursery for 8 hours of the day, so I'm only having to put up with them for the other 16. This particular lady in time, I knew the kids, and they were, shall we say, very active and imaginative kids, and she loved them dearly, and they were really good kids. But yeah, they were a handful, and I could understand why she was needing a break, and they weren't joking statement. But I do understand. It should be easier for parents to be allowed to be parents to their kids, and the state should try and assist that, but in as small a way as possible. I happen to love what you said with tax breaks. I think tax breaks should be the primary way.
you have to incentivize a married family.
Yeah,
No matter what government you have, it is the key foundation of, apart from things like liberty and such, it is some of the key foundations of any state, of having a state that can effectively really produce.
That's it. Making people's tax burdens. I mean, we all know where I can go on this one. get me kicking off about taxes, and there will be the occasional ANCAP comment coming from me about taxation being
But
theft
you'd be
in certain.
fine with your taxes going towards something like this.
I would love to be able to write off my entire taxations I make specifically to organisations considered tax write-offs. So education, the police, etc. I should be able to donate to them directly, get a receipt for my donation, write off my tax liability. That way the money goes directly from me to the organisation that needs it. It doesn't need to go through central government. So 9 of my £10 doesn't need to get absorbed by some fat git in London for 1 of my pounds to get to the police or church or the hospital or the university or wherever I want to donate my money to. Yeah, they get all 10 of it. I get a receipt, I show that to the government, give them the bird, and they have to suck it up. That's how tax should be distributed. But digress.
Yeah, I'll just try.
That's how
I mean,
you
one
kill.
thing
That's
I
how
think
you kill
Trump
big
did
government. That's how you
correct.
kill big government. You take its money straight out of its pocket, and then it starves.
25 minutes till the polls close.
Was
Or near enough.
funny.
Is there anything that
Yeah,
you
no,
look at and you say
she's very
that you don't
masculine.
like what Trump's done?
What do you think? I mean, I'm saying,
She's a Democrat, so
yeah, trap or not, I'm not sure.
no, that's definitely a woman.
Yeah, you're right.
Hang on, let me
slight-
engage
slight-
the trapdoor.
Slightly too soft. Yeah, there's softer features on the face.
Oh,
I
that wasn't the
mean-
woman I was seeing. I was seeing the famous till the polls close. The Amy McGrath for Congress.
On this
So,
page, is this a new one?
should be up the top.
Oh,
New update. It's not back up yet. Let me
says
refresh.
it's still saying I'm live now.
Oh, yep, no, it's back.
No, we are back. No,
Yep.
my apologies for that. I seem to be having
Technical difficulties.
not this end though, not me, not my fault this time. This was definitely my ISP who are going to be getting some words from me if this continues.
No, I think that might have been something else.
Are you
Can
going
I?
to get
No.
some
Can I? This is
stern
serious.
answers?
Can I just say that the Virgin Media, actually, if they continue with their broadcasting quality, giving me my 200 meg line, I am going to be extremely miffed, and that is something to be taken serious. But no, don't you
Better
think
watch
this
out,
Amy
lads, he's
McGrath?
extremely miffed.
Don't you think this Amy McGrath looks like Alan Robertson?
Do you want me to get an image of him up?
Yeah, go.
That's
Yeah,
what I was saying.
yes, definitely. I couldn't hear a damn thing. So,
Yep, I know. I'm pretty sure that was
She
something to do with
she
PC
does
then,
have that
because
kind
we
of
could hear you.
lesbianish look about her.
We could hear you just fine. The entire time.
right, okay. There's Amy McGrath, and then there is Robertson. Amy McGrath, Karen Robertson. Karen Robertson, Amy McGrath. Oh, sorry, wrong way around. But yeah, yeah. So here
Oh
we
my
have
God.
Kaylin, who is
What if
one of the gayest people on the planet, I think. Just
Yep.
so camp. And this Amy McGrath is announcing that she's going to run for Congress. And we have had updates. Crikey, look, stuff has happened. We
Has it?
have key Senate states to watch in the 2018 midterm election. And for the wonks among you, whose forecast do you prefer? What a wonk. Who in a newspaper uses the word wonk to describe a human being.
What is it? Yeah, you need to Google that shit. Cause what the?
A
Is that
studious
even a
or
word?
hardworking person.
Is a wonk.
Yeah.
A wonka.
Or let me bring it back up. Sorry. In nautical slang, an incompetent or inexperienced sailor. How dare they? I am a fine sailor. Thank you very much, Guardian.
Stasi, you
look,
are a
I am
complete
always,
wonka.
I'm always going to go
How
for
old?
the.
Hold on. How
Fucking
old is the
wonkers.
person that wrote this shit? This guy must be ancient.
Sorry, what?
This guy sounds a bit like a willy.
So here we have. Let's have a quick look at this one. Actually, let's bring it up in larger size. So Dave Washerman, one of my favourite pods of 2018, nerding about how the house has been all the rage. Sad it's ending, but today I thought it'd be fun to compare the final results with those of my four friends. May the best prognosticator win. Only races where we disagree shown. And so we've got a bunch down here. What I thought was interesting to look down the incumbents. Almost all of them are red. With just this one guy, Tim Waltz, Minnesota, as a Democrat. California has red. Has, Florida, all of it, absolutely every single one of them Republican. And how they're expecting now, one of these expecting the whole thing to.
The
They're
one
all
race that's had
expecting.
a lot of focus is the Texas race.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be expecting Democrats to win some seats. Oh, difficult to tell because you don't even know if you're in a classic a bubble. Am I just hearing the news that has been tailored to me because the internet's decided that I only deserve X number of types of articles because it's my reading search patterns. Therefore, I don't see half the articles that are out there, and other people are seeing all of those. And so it's difficult to tell whether you're in one of these little boxes, chat bubbles, etc. But I think we all are now to a degree. We will see. I think Stasi, I think you're right. I think a 50-50 is the ultimate centrist position to take on this one. And plus it
The radical centrist.
it allows you to be half right no matter what happens, which is
Stasi, you filthy liberalist.
No, that wasn't the point. The point of it was the blue wave. There are a lot of Democrat voters who didn't like Hillary but are coming out to vote now because they want their local congressman to be a Democrat.
yes.
But you have a lot of Trump voters.
MAGA.
Yeah, and so I think I'm not entirely sure which side's bigger. I mean, the election was 50-50 anyway with the popular vote. So who fucking knew?
It was
who
close.
gonna...
Yes.
So that's where my 50-50 came in for the House. The Senate is looking very Republican.
Holy crap. 2014, it took California 2 weeks to announce the winners of their House elections. How did it... It's a matter of adding up the numbers of bits of paper. Most places manage it that evening.
Florida, the Bush-Gore recount took about 4 months.
Ugh. That, Florida, recount, etc., etc.
Is it illegal to say it was bent?
I think you're allowed to express your opinions. I wouldn't suggest that you have proof in either way, shape, or form. If you do, quite frankly. But yeah, it was iffy as hell, and I think yes, if ever I've seen an election that may well have been rigged, it may well have been that one. But I think it was for the best. I mean, I know George W. Bush wasn't exactly the brightest, to say the least. At least Al Gore was bonkers. I mean, when South Park take the Mickey out of Al Gore, they're being kind, considering yeah. I don't think he would have been a
He's another
president.
one of those people.
He would have
who
been a president
means
like
very
Jimmy
well.
Carter. Been a president like Jimmy Carter. Tried to do something impressive, like Jimmy Carter tried to do. Decimal system. Change them from imperial measurements to metric, and then he got tied up in all sorts of complaints as a result of it. Lots of industries like him, and he totally cucked on the whole. Total failure as a president. Nice enough guy, everyone kind of likes him, but not.
You'd like to have a beer with Jimmy Carter, but you wouldn't want him to be your president.
He seems like a very nice chap to have a beer with. Absolutely right.
It's a bit like Gary Johnson.
Gary Watson Aleppo Johnson.
He seems like a really classic libertarian, where he would smoke a joint, but you just don't want him to run your country.
Oh, can you imagine running for president and not being asked, what do you think about the crisis in Aleppo, and you say, what's an Aleppo? Where? Oh, it's like there's a massive war going off and it's all over the news. Do you not?
This is your best chance to get elected ever, because everyone hates the other party.
Oh, I know. All he had to do was be charismatic, and all he had to do was be more charismatic than Donald Trump. But even actually, no. If he was more charismatic than Hillary, he might have been up for it, because it's difficult to be more charismatic than Donald Trump. The guy's got some charisma. But yeah, you just need to be a slightly better option, and people will. But no, you're right. The libertarians, they always fuck themselves up. Whenever anybody is in any chance of going, hi, I'm a libertarian and I'm actually respectable. Let's hear what I've got to say and see what you think about it. The moment one of those stands up, the moment one of us goes, hi, let me tell you my ideas about libertarianism, you get a naked guy wandering across the back, or somebody dancing around going, woohoo, free weed, dude, and nobody takes you seriously. I frankly think those fuckers are set up to do that, just to discredit the libertarian movement, because it's easy to do it at this stage like that. It's fucking yeah. I support their right to do it, and yeah, everyone's got the right to get naked and wander around and that sort of thing. But just once every now and then, when it's time to be sensible, be fucking sensible, guys. I know it's difficult. I know they're gonna get. I can hear them going, fucking cuck statist. I can hear them right now. Yeah, fuck you guys. Yeah, play ball just a little, and we might be able to get something out of these. No. No, they insist on the gigantic bong and then the stripping off naked the cameras. Going 20, dude. Christ, kill.
What the fuck is the background noise?
What?
Not the meme, man. Just the fucking thing that got posted before the libertarian meme. You don't want to put it on stream.
What's this? A libertarian party?
No, not that. Above that.
Above that, the which ones? Oh god.
Egg-eating snake.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You know what, background noise, sometimes it's just better not to even acknowledge it's there.
libertarian one is pretty good though.
Yeah.
Dude, weed limbo.
I think Libertarian Party in America. I don't know. I don't know what they're playing.
Fiscally conservative, socially liberal mo.
and then you've got your ANCAP side of things, which is
Just fucking retarded.
yes. So whatever. Yeah, no background noise.
Kind of
but-
depends on what level of ANCAP you're on. As to,
No. Right, if they're actually at the point of ANCAP, yeah, there may be further levels of it, but all ANCAPs are bonkers. ANCAPs are libertarians, lightweight. I don't need government. I don't need anything. Just give me guns and my
I
tank.
don't need the state to protect my private.
I don't need state. Yeah. Cops are murderers. Give me my machine guns and my flamethrowers, and I'm gonna pacify my own person. No, we can't have. We can't take the world back to feuding warlords, because that's all that's going to be. It's family warlords. No, ANCAPs are mental. Any anarchists, they're all bonkers. Sadly.
Because the world's driven them mad.
Or they're mad to begin with.
No, it doesn't. They're not born with it, are they? It's not like gayness or something.
It's a defect in the brain that makes them anarchic.
You
Well,
know.
if you get dropped on their head or something, then you know.
No. That you're just really wrong
when
there.
he was a kid.
I know, we're
Right.
just memeing. They're
Yeah,
disenfranchised with the current state of their
I was going to
society.
say they're always.
So they see only one way out.
Yeah, and that's just.
But their method of getting out is dumb.
Yes. Anarchy is
It's just-
great in the Wild
it is
West.
one surefire
you-
way to get the state to be more
It's
oppressive
like
to society.
If you want to go and be an ANCAP, yeah, go right ahead. Go find yourself a piece of ground somewhere that's miles away from no one, and get yourself a house, and find a country where there's gun laws that allow you to have your guns, and go and do it. But don't insist that everybody else have to put up with the world with no government, because that will be a fucking nightmare.
I don't know, man. You know Michael Douglas falling down.
Yes, I've seen the movie.
That was epic, mate. The way
An
that
okay
that
movie.
happened, I liked it.
Why are we talking about falling down?
Because Charlie's kind of a vigilante. I thought he was a bit of a vigilante. He would just wanted justice at the end of the day.
He didn't. He
got
wanted to die. You missed the
fucking-
entire point of the film. He was so depressed with the state of the world, and he'd lost his job, and he was just going through the motions, and so he basically went off on a self-destruction mission that ended with him getting dead. And that was what he wanted. That's why he pulled out a squirty water pistol on the cop at the end. Managed to completely miss the point of it, dude. He's not a vigilante.
I like his style.
Okay.
That bit in the freaking fast food joint, that was gold.
Oh, D.
You know what I was saying about every libertarian that's got an idea always has a naked stoned guy walking around behind him, draining his credibility.
D is your naked stone guy.
Yeah, I'm just a stone guy.
We know you're stoned. Are you currently
Well, actually,
naked?
no, to be honest, I'm pissed and stoned.
I
so,
don't
you know,
need to
don't
know,
worry.
neither does the whole world. Christ. Delete the stream.
On the other note, with the viewer count's gone up, so I don't know.
Sorry, were we working a few weeks ago, D?
Don't.
Don't actually answer that question. That was a joke. It was a
Don't.
joke.
Don't.
Why?
It was a
Don't
joke.
trick the
It was a
stupid
joke.
fool into doing stupid foolish
He's
things.
drunk and high on weed. Yeah.
Ah, poor
talking about
lad.
Dumb, stupid stuff.
I was working on
No,
your mum.
no.
Just.
Yeah, I was working on your mum. Sorry.
See, you're not safe to just. How
What?
do you remember to breathe when you sleep?
But I got a powerful subconscious, man. It just takes over. It's like, don't worry, man. We got this.
So pilot. NPC.
I ain't no NPC.
C runtime enabled D personality.
No, well, I programmed the NPC and then I set it to autopilot. So fuck you.
Oh, so you're self-aware NPC.
Yeah, it's just one of them things, you know. You gotta blend in, man. You gotta make him think you're one of them. The
Ah,
NPCs are everywhere, man.
Yeah,
holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Jake, you poor bastard. Oh,
Trying to.
Just barge in when you.
Oh,
when you
there he
feel
is.
it's
Right,
okay,
Sargon
fine.
is streaming. Didn't mean no sound whatsoever.
Here's boy
From
Sargon,
his,
Hugo and Jake from TBR, the Bible.
He's running out of things to talk about as well. I'm running through various bits of nonsense before the elections actually start, as are we. Let's see what when the live coverage starts, and it's still 40 minutes away. God damn.
Son of a
Oof.
bitch.
Well, it's like 5 minutes till they officially close.
Close the polls.
first.
Okay.
Some of the first polls.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to I'm going to go and make a drink. I'm going to stay online, but I won't be able to see the screen or make any changes to
Oh, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. You can't. I'm not gonna do nothing.
Stasi, do you have the ability to kick D?
that
by
was
any
the
chance?
I
least.
wish. I wish.
Oh. Oh,
Well, everyone in the audience has the ability to ignore D. Hopefully.
What? Why does everybody keep ignoring me? This sucks, man. Is it because I'm brown?
No, it's not.
yes, yes
No,
it is.
it's not. It's not. That would be easy, but no, it's not.
Drake, just be honest about your prejudice with me. Come on, man.
No, I'm not. No.
Yes, come on.
Right, here's the thing, right?
Say
is-
it with me.
Okay, and I know I'm going to make another reference, Sydney, that you're not going to understand here at all. But you may, because this is big pop culture we're going to reference here. Is Star Wars, Return of the Jedi?
Oh, alright.
Yeah, Jabba the Hutt's palace. There is a little sort of goblin-y, gremlin-y creature that sits at the end by Jabba's side. That basically Jabba sort of says anything, and this little gremlin creature will look at them and go, etc. D.
Oh.
God damn it, I'm trying to have a drink here.
So yeah.
So what you saying then? You're Jabba the Hutt?
What, intergalactic crime boss? No. Gigantic fat slug? No, not that either. I don't really fit the bill. I'm closer to Han Solo, but I am at that point blowing smoke up my own
Oh.
ass in a very big way. So I'll acknowledge that.
Well, it is
that
online, so you can be whatever you want.
Don't
anyway, so-
flatter yourself.
You're more like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Dies in the first fucking film.
More like Fat Solo.
I'm still.
Also-
What, am I dead? Am I dead? No. Has anything
No,
killed me
your
yet? No.
No, but you're dying.
So are you.
Yes,
As
but
are
I've
we
got a lot
all,
longer to
man.
go.
So you think? Keep talking like that. That might change.
You could get hit
You're
by
going to
a
come and
bus,
kill
man.
me.
No. Yeah, but what made you me?
That was
I-
the least suspicious no. You're going to come and kill me? No.
Wow.
What made you think I? Good lord, no. I'd muddy myself like that.
Okay, next week on Breaking Bread, Sydney's no longer with us.
No.
He is tied up in prior obligation.
Yeah, there's a gag order on him.
dear. Oh. Oh.
Someone tried to tell me the
Motherfucker,
other
we're
day
getting
that
to 40 minutes,
spaghetti
guys.
trees are a myth. Spaghetti does not grow on trees, and it is in fact a product of some sort. Clearly,
Like
they're
eggs
lies.
and stuff.
So what, mate?
That is eggs and stuff.
No, it doesn't. It grows on trees. Surely you know that.
What? Pasta grows out Uranus. Okay.
Why? 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 Why are these streams doomed to
Theo,
have
I love
some
having you
weird
around.
rambling going off in the...
Shit, man, we got 40 minutes to kill. How else are we gonna do it?
I don't know. Making a drink at the moment. Christ.
Okay.
Oh. Oh. I tried to ask this question earlier, but didn't quite get an answer. Is there anything that you guys want Trump to have done, which he could have done, or has he made any larger mistakes? Guys,
He could have given me $1 million, but he didn't.
Can I just say
so-
that there were two campaign promises that were front runners and slogans of his that are still yet
the
to be
locker up in
completed.
the wall.
Perhaps.
Hold still, Trick. I think I see a dot on the top of your forehead.
Yep, no, not turned Hindu
no,
just yet.
I was gonna say he's practicing Indian.
No. See, the problem is with Hindus is
What's that? You have evidence that leads to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
yes, and it's for sale.
Oh,
Listen,
you
alright.
are true
North
libertarian.
Korea
I see.
finds secret union land.
I don't need to release it, or you know, if the price were high enough, I'm sure if I can find comfort in my life, I'm sure they can rest comfortably too. Oh,
Was he able to get funding for the wall? Is the question. Well,
well, no,
I
most
don't
of
see
it,
how he hasn't been able to. The completely
most of
Republican
it
controlled
can't.
Senate and House.
The thing is with the whole border war, is a large amount of it is impossible to put a wall because it's impossible to pass it anyway. It's sort of unpassable terrain, mountainous, swampy, etc., etc. Fence will do. The bits of the wall I've seen, which just look like gigantic sort of slabs, but there's gaps between them. You can't squeeze through, but you can kind of see through, and it allows the air to travel through and so on, which is kind of good. We'll see. I mean, personally, I would have gone castle tech rather than, and I'd have just gone properly old school. I'd dug a big ass moat, and then I would have used the dirt that I dug out of the moat and piled it as a wall on the other side. So they would get there and they would go, oh, there's a 20-foot ditch and then a 40-foot wall. They're actually going to have to climb up that wall, 20 foot, to dig through. Otherwise, they're going to be digging through into the ground and not being. Basically, you and then you've got digging detection systems set up, which is dead easy. It's just a microphone
Was
stuck
that-
in the ground.
That does sound mildly difficult to do.
Really? Really? Mildly difficult to do?
You have to run
Medieval building technology in the 21st century is difficult to do.
for about 3,000 miles of border.
Yeah, it's got a big ass bulldozer and lots of them.
Right.
Yeah, it would. Yes, it's monumental work. Absolutely, and it will be a monument in its own right when it's finished. But you know,
I am skeptical, but
people built the fucking pyramids 10,000 years ago, mate. You're telling me we can't build a ditch and a wall in the 21st century? Check your brain box, mate. It's not working properly. It would be easier to do
But have you
that
thought
now
of
than it has
legislation
ever
that you-
been in any part of history. We dug a canal through the freaking Suez and through Panama. Massive fucking canal that we fit ships through from one ocean to another, and we can't build a wall? Give me strength. Christ, who do you think we are? Mice or are we men? I know I'm a man.
Alright, calm down, calm down.
God, we are humans, mate. We create great works.
Simmer
So
down,
small.
simmer
Big like
down,
a microbe.
simmer down.
No,
Yes.
absolutely not.
Yes. Come on.
I will kick you if you.
We just hold on.
No,
Trick,
that's
what you forget. Hold on.
I'll
Trick,
poke
back
you in
hold
your
on,
hands.
Trick,
You can kick
back
me in the knee.
day, back in the day, we used to be able to build great work. The
Yes.
vast majority of the general public are a bunch of fucking retards, and it ain't even possible for them to follow simple goddamn motherfucking instructions.
Dude. Whilst you're saying this, I little hyperbolic.
You ain't in
We
on it, guess,
we are the most educated form of human that there has ever been on the face of the planet.
Mate,
But
Yeah?
are we the most
When we
skilled?
built, when we built the Hanging
Really?
Gardens of Babylon, when we built the Great Pyramids, we used manpower, literal men dragging big lumps of rock. Yes, we had one or two people who were very bright amongst them that allowed them to design things very, very incredibly and used very, very great sort of clever techniques to do these things. We can turn out thousands of engineers every year from university that are all capable of building the Great Pyramids. We could knock the pyramids up, not design for the pyramids up, in a year or two. Not exactly difficult. Draw a square, you'd put a dot in the middle of it. That's your top-down view. Side view, triangle. 90 degrees here, 90 degrees there. I know I'm belittling the great achievements, but yeah, no, we are the most skilled. We have the greatest equipment, and no, I will not hear of such minuscule mouse-like talkings. We are humans, dude. We can send ourselves and colonize planets if we so desire. Of course, we can build a fucking piddly little wall. Can't build a fucking hell. Travel, mate. Travel. See the world. See what we've already done with your own eyes. 40-foot wall's easy.
I will sometime.
Yeah, right. See what the Guardian doing with regards nonsense. Okay. We have first polls closing now. And
Pyramids were built by aliens.
sorry, what?
Chat. The pyramids
The
were built by
pyramids were built by
though.
aliens, though. They were not landing pads. Okay, Nazca lines and all of that. Don't just no, not aliens. I'm prepared to entertain the ideas that aliens
Space motherfuckers in
aliens
space.
are out there, and I'm prepared to entertain the ideas that aliens may have even come and visited us at some point. But Pollet,
What was that?
I'm just reading Pollet's comment that I'm putting too much stock in the building ability of Arabs, etc. No, I'm not. I mean, we are talking a long time ago. We are load of NPCs. That whole Mediterranean area, be it Italy, Spain, modern day Tunisia and Africa, Egypt, Lebanon, Israel, all of that area around the whole Mediterranean. was a very, very, very active and has been a very, very active hub of humanity for about 10,000 years or so. Probably a lot longer. We can only guess that it goes back that far. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess who built the pyramids, but certainly the rulers and pharaohs of Egypt. From the drawings of them, from the designs of them, and from the DNA records of them that they've taken from the mummies, were Hellenic, which means they were basically Greeks, Babbles, Mediterraneans, not Arabs, not Semites, not of any of that group. So your statement about the building ability of Arabs, I think, Pollitt, you may find it wasn't them anyway. It was basically Bubbles. See? Cockney rhyming slang. Brilliant. Bubbles. Bubble and squeak. Greek. Therefore, bubble. See? Cockney rhyming slang. Far better than...
Suck your mom.
Not even fucking Cockney.
What? Are you kidding me? Bubble?
No, I said you're not even Cockney.
I'm not even... No, of course not. I'm from all kinds of different
You
places.
are appropriating Cockney culture.
I will appropriate what the hell I want to use at whatever time I wish to use it.
About approximately 30 seconds.
Look, mate. I will appropriate whatever I need to use and want to use for at any time. If it's a culture, fantastic.
Oh no, Cockneys are whites. My bad. Continue.
I'm not even sure if Cockneys are actually human, but you know, that could be tested. Okay, so yes, it's the Gom Jabbar. Put their hand in a box, and you subject the hand to extreme pain, and you hold at the neck a poison needle. If they can keep their hand in the box and overcome the pain, they're human, and if they can't, they take their hand out of the box, wincing in agony. You stab them in the neck and poison the animal that you clearly was faking at being a human in front of you. Gom Jabbar. How you test if people are human. Surely you know this.
I've never heard of that, I'm afraid.
Dune. It's from the book and movies. Dune. Great stuff.
I've never been big on fantasy novels.
Surprise me. Not enough football in there?
yes, I've read more football biographies than I have any other books. yes. You can laugh.
Ah, it's okay. I like the sport.
I need my sports to live. How tragic. What else am I going to do on a Saturday afternoon?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I would say walk in the countryside, but there's fewer people that countryside. It gets rammed up with people from the city otherwise. Just city. Right, so basically, snapshot from the race in Nebraska, 2nd District, which contains the city of Omaha. That'd be Omaha, Nebraska. Which in turn harbors the state's lion's share of Democrats. Garrett Eastman is Nebraska. Nice. Blah blah blah. Oh my God, it's moved on me. There we go. An unlikely principle in the ongoing drama called the Democratic Civil War. Yada yada yada. It's not actually news. It's a big fat. If she pulls off a win tonight, Progressive will shout from the rooftops that economic popularism can win in a Trump country or county. But if she loses, moderates will use her race as a warning of what will happen when Democrats run as an economic populist in Republican-leaning districts. Economic populist. What does that mean?
Promising everything for free.
A social worker and founder of a non-profit healthcare organization for children. She'd only ever run for the local school board before she tried to run as a Democrat. Oh God, she's a school teacher. Eastman is running in a Bernie Sanders-style platform which includes Medicare for all and has highlighted her mother's battle with breast cancer. My mum suffered from breast cancer, so I know the feelings of everyone. I want everyone to have free medical care. Really? Nebraska, its own first world country, all by itself, and got a GDP so high it can afford to spend half of it on medical care, does it? Because that's where England is at the present.
Would you like to know something?
You have
The
to.
current. Sorry.
Sorry. No, what you said?
The exit polls currently from CBS are saying that 43% of voters say that healthcare is the most important thing. 23 say immigration is the most important issue. And only 21% of Americans think that the economy is the most important issue for voters. And 11% is gun policy.
See, I've seen something similar but slightly different percentages. So they've definitely got a list of categories that they're sticking a percentage in. These exit polls and so on they're always biased. They're always biased because you're only ever going to get a snapshot of people that are willing to look into or answer rather the actual poll and census itself. An awful lot of people don't like that and don't like going in for census and I think you find usually it's the more left wing the person is, the more likely they are to talk to the censors and the pollsters. Because the more right wing a person tends to sort of regards conservatism, tend to be more private, and it tends to be a case of that's none of your business. So I you a good day, then they carry on, and that's not countable as a thing. See, we're getting crap from chat. Yeah. All this dead air. How dull. Well, jump in and join us, or something. I mean, it's not like there's thousands of people watching or anything, and stuff. And yes, been rambling for 2 hours, and the thing that we're trying to watch still hasn't started yet. So I don't know what else to say for the time being.
We need important issues for us to chat about.
God
What
damn.
phrase should I throw out there? If you attempt to achieve liberty for all people, you end up having liberty for no one. There you go. That's.
Said that?
I don't know. Me.
Well, you're wrong.
I was going to say, justify that. That's axiomatically incorrect. And because I've used a big word that I'm hoping you don't completely understand the meaning of, I win.
If you attempt to introduce individual,
I'm pretty convinced.
If you attempt to introduce individualism for all people within, you will eventually reach the point in which everyone fights themselves and will infringe on the rights of all, and you will end up having no freedom to anyone within your state.
I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
I knew you would.
If you
The
take
state plays into freedom.
yes, if you take the fact that every single individual has equal rights, yeah, regardless, I don't give a flying fuck what they have in terms of testicles or ovaries, breasts or no breasts, or ginger hair, brown hair, black hair, blonde hair. I don't care whether their skin colour is green with purple blotches. They get the same immutable rights. So everyone is right there at the bottom in the dirt with the same, here's your basic rights. There you are, you're all equal. Have at it.
So what will the basic rights be? How will you determine if someone infringes upon those basic rights? Whether someone decides they do not like how you dealt with someone who's infringed on the rights of someone in a way that could be misinterpreted.
The simple way of working it is my rights end where yours begin. That is a very simple way of looking at the whole liberty issue. I have freedom of speech. You have freedom of speech. You do not have freedom to silence me, and I do not have the freedom to silence you. I also don't have to listen to what you've got to say. You can't make me sit here and listen to what you say. I have the freedom to walk away. I have the freedom to do an awful lot of things. Where you start losing liberty is where one person starts saying, I have the freedom to have abortions and I demand you pay for it. Yeah? Where you start
Right.
talking about taxation, the government demanding payment of everyone, huge amounts of money, and then working out where it's going to go, yeah, that's where freedom stops. Yeah, because then I'm having money extorted from me. I never agreed. Born into a country. I never agreed. Signed up to a social contract. I never agreed to the state doing these things to me. It's inflicted upon us by dint of the birthright of where we're born. And yes, the moment someone starts going, well, I want to sit around and be off work, and I want job seekers allowance to cover me for that so I don't have to work. So you who are working and looking after your family and children, saving for the future, I want you to pay for me to be lazy and not have to work, please. That's where liberty starts being infringed. You don't have a right to that person's goods and belongings. You demanding it and demands the state using police force with guns and sticks take via force the earnings of a person or people and then giving it. That's where liberty is being infringed, sir.
Right.
If the government gave you the option to sign up for taxation, agree to these things, then it wouldn't be a liberty issue. But you don't. You're here, therefore these rules are thrust upon you. That is where liberty is taken away. Choice is not a choice. Do you agree or disagree?
If, give me a moment to have a think, if you don't mind.
All right. So we have some votes coming in from Indiana,
Yes.
the U.S. Senate.
Oh, groovy. Groovy. Actual stuff. Rather than beating up
It's
on
only like
authoritarians.
20,000. It's only about 20,000
Yes,
votes.
Authoritarians are not silly.
And you're not an ideologue, true.
Listen, not an ideologue. Goodness me.
I haven't completely formulated my own personal idea. I am willing to wander around and pick up a couple of flags and go, libertarianism sounds alright, but they're not my ideology. I'm not quite there yet, but when I have an ideology, I will, I'm sure, let everybody. It'll be great. I like it. It'll be weird. So, what do you got for me? You got a link or something so we can stick some news up, or is
Well,
is
Pyro's
Google?
put it in.
Oh, Google's thing is moving and stuff. It's doing got results in. So, yeah, there we go. Republican Party, 42% of the seats.
These were
Democrats.
just
These are the
clarify.
old ones, but we've got some
Yeah,
colouring in on it now. Look, they've got like a blue bit and a red bit. That's nice. They didn't have that.
Yeah, those were pre-called seats
Yes.
for the Senate. And it does look like the Republican Party, unless the Democrats get every other fucking seat, they're going to get the Senate.
Yes.
They only need 8. 8 more.
Another 8% of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get 9 just to
Blimey.
square it away properly.
23 to 42. Just amuses me how much in the past few weeks have the optimism and democratic side of the media just faded and faded
Okay.
and faded.
I've just got an early voting numbers in from Iowa. Early voting numbers are in. Compared to 2014, Democrat votes are up 19.1%, Republicans are up 2.8%, and no party is up 10.5%. Nobody's losing anything there, so they just got that's just a voter turnout number. It has to be. But in 2014, the Democrats were walloped, so maybe Iowa may get some Democrat votes. I don't know. Had places demanding that they allow everyone to get their votes in Houston, Texas. Bless them.
I think we actually might have to wait till tomorrow in order to see the
I
full
think we're going to have to at this
results.
point, because we're only just hitting the start of it. This is probably going to go on tonight, and
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Shall we leave it there?
I think we should
Yeah.
leave it here, and I will continue to keep an eye on it, and if it suddenly starts cracking off at 2 in the morning or something, I don't know, put up a bit of a commentary, but I don't think it will do, and I think, to be perfectly honest, like the aforementioned Mr. Overcad, we'll be getting all the views we would get, and many more, many.
Bastard.
So yeah, you know.
Fucking cunt.
Yeah.
How dare he get there first?
Years ahead.
Because
If only I was like 3 years older, I would have been on this shit. Fuck's sake.
you need
All right.
to crash this party more often than not.
Well, we'll get to that. Anyway, it's been a good stream, and I'm gonna call it there. And good night to everyone, and hope you've had a good evening.